Hello, welcome back to part 21 of Losing the Boomer Blues. Are they twins like Mommy and Uncle Kelly? Yes, Harry. They're twins, but they're identical twins. Unlike your mommy and uncle, the elephants look alike. Oh, said Harry, these elephants are boys like me. Grace smiled and replied, yes, they're identical twin boys. Changing the subject, Jane rested her hands on Harry's shoulders and said, it's getting late, and we need to meet Grandpa Bob at the golf course soon. Hug the elephant goodbye, Harry, and say goodbye to Grace. Harry hugged the elephant, and Jane helped him down. He kissed Grace goodbye and ran back and hugged the other elephant. Grace told Harry to come back soon, and next time he could sit on the other elephant. Grace turned to Jane and said, I'm going to have lunch with Ruth on Monday. It's been a long time since we've been to Sausalito. I'm looking forward to it. That's great. Tell her hello. See you on Tuesday morning. Have fun in Sausalito. Grace and Ruth get together. Ruth was 90 years old, very active, sharp as a tack, and still drove a car. Her hair was white as snow, and she always wore a beret. She and Grace were best friends since college. They both had been born and raised in Mill Valley and moved to San Francisco in the late 60s. Once a month, she and Grace had a standing date. Today she was picking up Grace for a short trip across the Golden Gate to beautiful Sausalito, and they were having lunch at Skoma's, their favorite seafood restaurant. Ruth waited until late morning when the traffic subsided before she drove over to Yesteryear's. When she arrived, Grace was waiting for her in the front of the shop. She waved and walked quickly up to Ruth's car and got in. Good morning, old friend, Grace said with a smile. She settled herself comfortably in the car, fastened her seatbelt, tapped her hand on the dashboard, and said, Skoma's, here we come. Ruth chuckled. I'm so happy to see you. As they drove across the Golden Gate Bridge, they made small talk until Ruth asked, do you mind if we walk downtown after lunch? Grace glanced over at Ruth, smiled, and said, not at all. What do you have in mind? I want to visit the art galleries. I'd like to find some fancy stationery. Grace responded, great idea, but I do believe letter writing is a lost art, thanks to email. Unfortunately, it seems that way, but I still love putting pen to paper. So do I. Email isn't as charming, but someday postage stamps may be gone for good, and so will letter writing. Ruth replied, rats, I hope not. I just can't imagine that happening. Don't worry, we won't see it in our lifetime. They looked at each other and started cracking up. When they arrived at the restaurant, they ordered their favorite crab salad. They enjoyed the view and slowly sipped their tea. Relaxing, they caught up, and soon the waiter brought their salads. After lunch, they strolled along the waterfront in the Villa del Mar Park and across the street to browse a bit in the art galleries and gift shops along Bridgeway. An abstract painting caught Ruth's eye. The local artist who painted it also had stationery to match, so Grace bought a box of it for her. They crossed the street and sat on a park bench by the fountain, admiring the concrete elephants. They reminisced about days gone by. Looking around and out toward the bay, Ruth asked, remember all the fun we had at Zach's dancing and watching the turtle races on Sunday afternoons in the 60s? Beaming, Grace replied, oh my, how could I forget? Those were the days. We sure did let our hair down back then. So many good memories. Ruth, looking up toward the skyline, remarked sentimentally, our friendship is as old as the Sausalito hills. Patting Ruth's hand, Grace smiled and agreed. That it is, my friend. Glancing down at her watch, Ruth remarked, well, our day in Sausalito is coming to an end. Thank you, Grace. I love the stationery. I'm happy you love it. That artist is one of my favorites. Let's get up from this bench and hit the road before the commuter traffic kicks in. This day was fun, Ruth. I can't wait until next month. The day had been perfect. Whenever they got together to explore their old stomping grounds, it always brought back great memories. The two old friends had shared something special down through the years that time could never take away. Jane discovers Grace's heart condition. Mary came by yesteryears, hoping to visit with Jane and Grace late Tuesday morning, but Grace was downtown running errands in Union Square. As Mary walked into the shop, Traveler started barking. Jane came storming out of Grace's office shouting, "Traveler, please stop barking." She was holding a bottle of medication and carrying her laptop. "Hi, Jane. I thought Traveler bonded with me on the beach the other day, but it seems he's forgotten me. I wore my hair up and he's still barking. Oh, well, he'll get over it. How are things going? You don't seem too happy." "I'm all right, but a bit concerned. I just found heart medication in Grace's medicine cabinet. I didn't know anything about it, so I looked it up on the internet. I'm going to talk to Grace about this when she gets back." "What were you doing in her medicine cabinet?" "I felt a headache coming on, so I looked in there for Advil. Instead, I found this prescription for Metapropyl. It's a heart medication, and Grace's name is on the bottle. Given Grace's age, it isn't too alarming. But she never told me about a heart condition. She never mentioned it to me either. Do you want an Advil? I think you need one more now than ever. You know Grace isn't going to be happy when you give her the 3rd degree. Here, you better take this." Mary handed her the bottle of Advil she had in her purse. "Thanks. You know Grace gets pretty upset when anyone bosses her around. Be careful not to ruffle her feathers. It's not wise to lecture her. Just let her know that you care." "I will. I don't want to upset her. I'm just wondering why she kept this from us." "It'll work out, Jane. Remember, be kind. Let me know what happens. I'll handle it with kid gloves. See you later, Mary." When Grace returned from Union Square, Jane casually mentioned that she had felt a headache coming on, and when she opened the medicine cabinet looking for the bottle of Advil, she came across the heart medication. She told Grace that the discovery concerned her and that she was worried about her. Grace defensively said, "Oh, go on, Jane. Don't worry about me. My doctor gets paid to do that. I'm fine." "It's important that I know about your medical condition." "Stop it, Jane. You're acting like a mother hen." "And so what if I am? You know how much you mean to me." "I understand, Jane." She looked up at her and said, "Don't worry. I won't keep you in the dark about the status of my health condition in the future. And I appreciate your concern." "Thanks, Grace. I want you around for a long time. You need to concentrate on other things, like those untied shoestrings of yours. Anything can happen at any time. We're all walking on thin ice. Enough is enough. Now tie your shoestrings and get on with your day. We're both still standing, thank God." Jane tied her shoestrings and said, "You have a point, Grace. We both need to appreciate each day we're given." We'll continue on later with chapter 14. I'm going to end it for today and say have a nice rest of your weekend. Ciao.